welcome to another ranking video. Today I'll be doing a ranking for the Die Hard movies. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite action series of all time. It just might be my favorite, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, it just might be, actually. I am a big fan of Terminator and stuff like that, but, only the first two Terminator movies are good. Whereas Die Hard, pretty much all the movies are good, except for one, and you probably know what I'm talking about already. But Die Hard is fantastic. Bruce Willis, actually, made an iconic character out of these movies with John McClane. Who's kind of phoning it in that one movie I just mentioned. But Bruce Willis, he can actually do some good stuff. I know a lot of movies he just kind of phones it in. Aside from Die Hard, or should I say the one Die Hard movie that I keep referencing. But yeah, he actually has some good range and can really play a hero very well. He's most known for this series, of course. Die Hard is definitely one of the best action movies ever made, period. It just might be number one. But yeah, and the sequels were pretty good as well, aside from one, which I keep mentioning. And yeah, so let's get into it. I am a very big fan of this series too, so I kind of, I've got like a lot of personal, what's the word? Personal love for this series. So I'm going to say a lot of positives that most people wouldn't say for certain sequels. Aside from this one. Now, this is the one I keep talking about. Oh, God. Okay, let's get through this. A Good Day to Die Hard. This is the fifth Die Hard movie. Came out in 2013, I believe in Valentine's Day. This movie is not good. Okay, where do I start? Okay, let me start by saying this. If they make another Die Hard movie, which I hope they do, because I don't want this to be the last Die Hard movie, because you don't want it to end on such a bad note. If they make another Die Hard movie, I really hope they do not bring back Jai Courtney. I really hope they do not go the same route they went with this movie. Like, all around, it's just all around very bad. I really hope they bring, they have a nice return to form. Kind of like what Live Free or Die Hard did. Underrated movie, in my opinion. A Good Day to Die Hard is just very bad. It is not... There's nothing really good about this movie. There's nothing memorable. Bruce Willis does not really give that good of a performance. Jai Courtney is Jai Courtney. That's all I can say. The only good movie I've seen Jai Courtney in, the only movie I've seen him, do good in, I should say, was Suicide Squad. He was actually pretty good in that. And he was okay in Terminator Genisys. That wasn't a great movie or anything, but he was okay in that, I guess. But in this movie, God. Now, I'm not going to lie, though. It's been years since I've seen this movie, which is, a good thing. But it's just, God. I think about, watching this, and I can't remember, like, anything. Like, I remember they go to Chernobyl or whatever at the end of the movie or something like that. And that's about it. Like, I can't remember anything else. Even the part where Bruce Willis says, yippee-ki-yay, his famous line. Apparently that wasn't even, like, a new recording of that. Like, literally they dubbed it in or something. Like, they took it from the third movie or something. Like, they just dubbed it in. Why they went that route, I have no idea. Now, this had the potential to be very good because Live Free or Die Hard, the movie before this, was PG-13. Now, this was rated R, so fans were very excited. Like, oh, it's back to being rated R again? Awesome. And then we got this movie, which, it's just nothing memorable. I don't remember the villain. I don't remember anything that happened, aside from, like, the ending or whatever. I just remember Jai Courtney and Bruce Willis did not have a good chemistry at all. They did go to Russia, which was cool, I guess. I thought that was a good idea. Take John McClane somewhere else. But this movie just fell flat. I don't know. It was just a really bad... It was just a mistake. Like, it was a very messy movie. I don't know. Just... God. This movie was so disappointing. I remember when it came out, I was so excited. Because at the time, I was such a big Die Hard fan. I really discovered these movies when I was in high school. And I would watch them nonstop, and, I loved all four of them. At that point, it was only four. And when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, yes, they're making a fifth Die Hard movie. It's rated R. And I actually kind of like the title. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. Just this movie's bad. Anyways, I'm gonna stop spending so much time talking about it. Everyone knows that's bad. Okay. Anyways, coming in at fourth place is Live Free or Die Hard. Now, this is on complete opposite end of the spectrum from Good Day to Die Hard. So like Good Day to Die Hard's down here, Live Free or Die Hard's like way up there. So definitely a big opposite thing going on there. So don't think this movie's bad as well, just because I have it ranked kind of low. Now Live Free or Die Hard, this came out in 2007, I believe, directed by Len Wiseman, who did the Underworld movies, which I've never seen, by the way. He did a very good job directing this. Bruce Willis himself actually enjoyed working with that director, and he wanted him to come back and do the fifth movie, and that didn't happen. So maybe that's why Bruce Willis phoned it in this movie. This was directed by... I don't even know. I don't care anyways. Live Free or Die Hard, though, great return to the series. This came out a little over 10 years after Die Hard with a Vengeance. I don't remember what year that came out. 1993, I want to guess. But anyways, like, let's just say like 14 years. Bruce Willis is obviously older in this movie, but he still did a good job as John McClane, I think. You know, he's bald or whatever, you know, and he's running around doing all these crazy things. But there's a lot of great action in this movie. That's definitely the best part of this movie. The action sequences are fantastic. That thing with the truck on the highway, really good stuff. That elevator sequence is good. A lot of great stuff in this. Now, you know, people complain, PG-13. Yeah, guess what? There's an unrated version. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't included on that Blu-ray set I got right there. But the unrated version of this movie has all the swearing, all the blood. It's fantastic. I really love the R-rated version of this movie. Now, as a PG-13 movie, though, you know, it's definitely not as good. But it's mainly because I have an unrated version of this movie that I like it so much. I actually did a video maybe like 2 years ago. It was called Underrated Movies. You know, Live Free or Die Hard. I talked about this movie and how much I think it's underrated, and you know, people should give it a second chance. And no, it is not as good as the first three movies. Obviously, I have those ranked higher, but it's still not bad. Not a bad sequel. You know, the main complaint I have with it. Oh, this fell over. The main complaint I have with this movie is the villain. He's not really memorable like the other villains were in the first three movies. He's not as enthusiastic. He's played by Timothy Olyphant or whatever his name is from Justified. I mean, he's okay, but his character's just very bland. You know, and I actually didn't mind Justin Long, the sidekick. I actually didn't mind his character. Some people probably thought he was annoying. And oh, Kevin Smith was in this movie as well, just randomly. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, Live Free or Die Hard. Underrated, underappreciated, I think. Great action, for sure. And Bruce Willis did not do a bad job in this, I think. So, Live Free or Die Hard, underrated movie. Fourth place. Now, coming into third place is Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Such a strange title, Die Harder, but whatever. This one took place in an airport. Now, the thing with Die Hard 2, I actually have a friend, he really loves this movie. He likes it more than the first Die Hard. Now, obviously, that's not the case with me. I have this ranked third place. Die Hard 2, it's a great sequel and all, but it doesn't, like, have the same effect as the first movie. Because, you know, the joke is, oh, it's the same thing. Same thing happened to the same guy twice. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. That's just how the action sequel works. Especially when you're, you know, revolving around one main character like that. You know, the airplane stuff was great. You know, there's a lot of great suspension in this movie. A lot of things at stake. But I don't know, something about this movie just doesn't work as well on, you know, in terms of like, you know, action level, character level, as the first movie did. I don't know, it just has that sequel effect where it's like, okay, it's good, but it's not as good. You know what I mean? I don't really have much else to say about Die Hard 2, but it's great, though, don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of great stuff in it. The yippee-ki-yay moment is fantastic at the end. Completely unrealistic, but great action nonetheless. Die Hard 2, great movie. Just, I don't know, it doesn't really compare to the first movie. All right, next we have Die Hard with a Vengeance. Now, I really love Die Hard with a Vengeance. I almost want to put this at number one, but I know better than that. Die Hard with a Vengeance has Samuel L. Jackson in it, in one of my favorite movies of his. There he is, right there. Man, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson together, really great stuff. Jeremy Irons was the villain as well. There's also a link between this and the first movie, which I liked, and it takes place in New York. There's just a lot of great stuff in this movie. This movie is like really fun to watch, in my opinion. You know, the scene where he first meets Samuel L. Jackson's character is crazy. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like, I can't believe they did that in a movie. But yeah, and you know, the villain was named Simon. It's like Simon Says. You know, they have to run around the city doing all these different tasks and trying to figure out where the villain is, and you know, there's a lot going on in it, but it's very fun. I really do love this movie. It's mainly Samuel L. Jackson. He really does steal the movie for me. His character was awesome. I really hope they bring him back, and if they do a sixth movie. Just fantastic movie. I really love Die Hard with a Vengeance. Anybody else agree with me on that? Awesome movie. All right, number one, obviously, is the first Die Hard. Come on, guys. Did you think I'd do something else? This movie is classic. Alan Rickman, rest in peace. Iconic villain. Iconic scenario. You got the hero trapped in the building with, what was it, like 13 terrorists or something like that. Just really great. You got Carl Winslow in the movie from Family Matters. I don't know, just an iconic movie. Literally, this is an A+ action movie. Bruce Willis, best performance he's ever given as John McClane. Yeah, just fantastic movie. I don't have much else to say. It's Die Hard. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Yeah, great movie. Die Hard. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. Just, it's great. I really don't have any negatives. But anyways, that is my ranking right there. And I'd like to finish this video with something kind of odd I noticed. Some people know about this. The Die Hard trilogy, as it was for many years, obviously includes terrorism. Let's see. New York, right? Airplane and a building with an explosion, and it kind of looks like two buildings that are identical. Anybody catching on to what I'm talking about here? That's a little odd, isn't it? Look at that airplane. It's heading right for New York. And then there's a building right there with, I don't know. Anybody else notice what I'm talking about here? I'm just going to end it at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.